Hello everyone, this is Greyshot 17 bringing you another Company of Heroes 2 commentary. This time I am playing as the Soviets along with my ally Ryan, and he's of course another Soviet player, and of course we have Redman, who's an American player. On the enemy team we have Mike Litteris, which you can take a guess what that means, and also Kai Sikuchin, as both Wehrmacht players. I'll just say Kai and Mike respectively, and Lacoon is the only Oberkommando West player. And again, this is a 3-3 on Faceoff at Rostov. I'm sorry I've been playing this map a little bit, well actually quite a lot lately, but it's an excellent map, and it does come up on rotation quite a bit. I haven't gotten many other maps except for this. I don't know if Relic has a higher frequency ratio for this map. I don't know if this is just the most requested map that people want to play on, but anytime I play ranked games, it's either this map, it's either the I'm sorry, it's the new green train track map. I forget the name of it right now. And then of course it's Angermute. It's not. I'm sorry, not Ang. Yeah, it's Angermute. And then those seem like the most popular. But anyway, the reason I want to show this one is just, I guess, showing American tactics. And a lot of people say you can't win as the Americans on this side of the city. Well, I just want to show a video in which, don't get me wrong, this game is going pretty intense, but it will definitely show you tactics on how to hold and take the city. Now, of course, I am on Redman's perspective. He rushed his troops up to capture that point. That way he can rush up and keep capping the fuel. If we look here at commanders, Redman went Rifle Company. That way he can deploy the white phosphorus, which on previous videos, if you've seen, is very effective. I went Soviet Combined Arms. Unfortunately, it did a glitch where I wasn't able to get my I guess, specific commander set I wanted. It switched back to another, but I was still happy with this group because again, you get the bombing run, you get recon, you can hide your ATs, and also you get the howitzer plus guards riflemen, which are pretty good against lighter vehicles and even some medium armor if you use the button ability. Now, take note, Ryan is also, of course, Soviet player. He's rushing out here. What he's going to be doing is, why rush out? We were originally thinking, should we take the island? And then we came up to the conclusion, no. We shouldn't necessarily take the island. We should focus on the city. So what Ryan's doing is cutting off this point. That way they can't come through this icy path. While I am right behind him, sending in troops to take this midpoint. I send my comm engineers here to take this, and I'll send them up north. And then slowly but surely I'll make my way over and help guard up this area with mines and barbed wire. Now, of course, Redman's back capping with his recently reserved riflemen, which, as you can see here, I believe they have a special ability. Yeah, they're already starred, which is really nice. You can deploy those, which a star, if you can get, is quite an effective, quite helpful. Alright, so if we go off Fog of War, of course, you want to see how they're doing. That was a good ploy because, as you can see, they went for the middle, but they don't have much there. So right now, Ryan's pushing up with some conscripts. Conscripts beat these guys because, again, open cover, and also they have the MP40s, which is good short, maybe medium. These rifles are good medium to long. So, yeah, now they're behind heavy cover. It's going to put his conscripts into a bit of a pickle, especially because he's not in any cover right now. As you can see here, they are rushing for this half track, and pretty much rushing it up here. That way they can cap it down. Now, there is a thing that Overcommando West players like to do. They'll put this half track. If you want to know where they're going to put it, it's either in this location, it's either behind this house, and then finally it's in this general vicinity. Why those three main locations? Well, first off, this location's good because you have all this heavy cover. This is good, as you can see, because artillery and mortars and other things, like tanks coming through, will have a hard time seeing with debris here. Anyway, the Kerbal wagon took a lot of hits from his riflemen, and look, there's that vetted rifleman, which are just annihilating those Volksgrenadiers. I have an MG in this building, but unfortunately there's a mortar over here, which Mike brought out, which is very effective. Most people forget to bring out the mortar, but again, bring out the mortar, that way you can get these guys out of the buildings, which is something they did, and unfortunately I did not. I do have another MG coming in to help push up. My riflemen are here trying to help them out, but as you can see here, I have to retreat these guys shortly. They already have this building destroyed. I don't know if they did something with the health of these longer buildings, but as you can see, that one's pretty much gone. I have troops here. I'm going to tell my comm engineers to pretty much block this area up with barbed wire in this location, then mine up this ice, and then block this location. If you're wondering why, if I put barbed wire here and here, they have to come all the way around through this area or through here, which I'll block specifically, because they can't come around this way, because if they do with a vehicle, well, they're going straight through the the ice. Anyway, they come around here. Pretty much they have to go through a minefield, which I'll set here, and that will leave infantry and vehicles going straight through. So that's why. I have my guys here. I put some heavy cover just to hold. I have more MGs and whatnot going up. I'll put an MG here, and also put just one conscript squad. I don't want to put too much on the island. I want to focus in the middle. Because as you can see here, that's what they're doing. They have 3 sets of guys. They're also saying mines and locations in these areas. That way, again, if we charge, it's pretty much going to be game over for a large group of infantry. Now, unfortunately, what Redman might have and should have done is probably brought up an ambulance, heals guys, or contacted Redman and I. We would have actually brought up something, because as you can see, they're both pretty close to dying, and he definitely doesn't want to lose those 2-star riflemen, because they get grenades. Anyway, I tried to get close that way I could throw a grenade, but as you can see here, they just get destroyed, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? They just got, and it's not like the fact that they had snipers or anything. I don't know if these grenadiers just because we're in a building and whatnot, but literally they just took out those guys pretty quickly, and it's just like, okay. But they're taking out all the buildings. We try to suppress them, use MGs. It's working, but the mortar's definitely doing more to us, which kind of sucks. I am bringing up an AT because I figure I can start bombing these buildings. Also, what I'm going to do is see, look, my riflemen are going to run, go for that fuel point. Why? Because if they decap their fuel, the Oberkommando West player is going to be yelling at the Wehrmacht players like, why am I getting no fuel? Need help. Because again, that's 7. Right now, they have a total Oberkommando is 21. We limit that to 14. He's definitely going to be hurting quite a lot. Actually, if we look at points, even though like we lost quite a few, we're doing pretty good overall. It's pretty close. I know it's like, oh, that doesn't matter. It's early game. Well, if you lose a squad early game, that's going to affect you long game. So you want to make sure you keep your units alive, which is what we're doing. We may be retreating, but at least we're keeping most of our units alive, except for maybe a conscript squad or so. But again, they've lost the Volksgrenadier squad. So I decap this point, okay? And I'm going to instantly, I'm like, alright, retreat. Why did I do that? First off, that cuts off their fuel, so they can no longer do that. Then I'm like, wait a second. Okay, if I cut off the fuel point, why can't I cut off other points? Oh, yeah, and by the way, I have no idea what this thing's doing. Something is up with the retreat, because I've noticed with MGs and conscripts, they just run themselves and then they stop moving. I don't know what it is. It's something that's been plaguing my forces quite a bit. Leave a comment if that's also been affecting you, but yeah, it's just like this random... Oh, wow. This random glitch that has just been annoying me, and I've been losing units, even though it's like, why aren't they just retreating? So anyway, these Grenadiers think they're all great because they have the MG42. Meet the bar. This bar will literally tear you a new one. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you get that LMG, you're pretty much done for. But at least you'll be able to that thing, if you put in cover, will just start tearing apart infantry. Now, of course, I have an AT gun. I have my own MG. And we have, of course, artillery going by. Wondering why, if I'm not firing, I'm using the resources to mine up this area. As you can see here, I put enough, pretty much, barbed wire and other things, so that way infantry coming through will have a hard time. I'm going to put a few more mines. That way, in case, again, they send a large tank force through here to flank, they'll explode in multiple different sectors, allowing us to hold. Now, if we look here, actually, my conscripts, I'm like, well, why can't I just walk up and just deal with it? Like, why can't I just go up into their base? Because as you can see here, don't get me wrong, Redman is doing something smart. He's behind heavy cover, and he's tearing, like, he's holding on multiple infantry groups, and he's doing a fantastic job at doing so. The problem is he's, unfortunately, one front. And the second front, they have pretty much locked down with that MG. And I'm going to have to retreat this guy because, of course, he's barely alive. They also somehow use like a precision mortar or something to take this out. I don't know how they took it out so quickly. Because it was just like, how did you hurt that thing? It's on the bottom of the hill and you had nothing shooting at it. I don't know how many mortars do they have. That would actually make... Mike has 1 mortar. Yeah, there's no way 1 mortar... Don't get me wrong, it's gotten 15 kills, so good on ya. But there's no way 1 mortar is gonna... Okay, this might make sense. The support gun. This support gun's really good, expensive, but it's still good at the arcing fire, can go over buildings. We'll definitely do a lot against like all these troops, and Redman's just losing a lot of forces. Nice thing is he's healing with the ambulance, but still, that's not going to help if all your troops are pinned. Lacoon... Wait, hold on. Not Lacoon. Kai Yeah, they're pretty much just going frontline grenadiers. They don't really have anything behind. But see, here's the thing, though. You look at mine. I'm just, like, done. So I start decapping in the middle with all these forces. By the way, he's not recapping. Why? I don't know. But I'm recapping all these points. Why? To pretty much cut them off. Because if I cut them off, that helps immensely. So I'm like, alright, I got 2 spots done. Well, they're not completely cut off yet. I have to head north to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rush them up to the northern fuel and other points. That way I can decap these sectors. I also have guards riflemen troops, as it just said, moving up to help, because as you can see, they've pretty much been pushed back to the bridge, and that's not a good sign. If we're pushed back all the way here, that's definitely not something you want to happen. I also meant the half-track. Unfortunately, I forgot to get anti-tank grenades, otherwise I would have probably done it. But here's the thing. So, that's still captured, right? Rushing over here, going to decap that point. I also equipped it, which one? One of these guys with a... No, dead? Oh, there we go, DP. I equipped it that way it can pretty much be excellent against a Kuba wagon, and, most importantly, it can button units. Now, as we can see here, their resources just got cut because I cut off their lines. So as you can see, even though they have all these munition points, stuff like that, right now they're cut off. So they're getting less than us. Even though they have all those munition points. Isn't that pretty cool? That's what you get for cutting off their lines. Even though it's like, oh, they're good here. If the red is not connecting, they are not getting points. And furthermore, I'm just holding them back. They have a bunch of Volksgrenadiers, stuff like that. No way my conscripts can really hold. But at least I'm giving them some problems. Oh, yeah, they retreat past it, so that's just annoying. So I retreat back. I lose the squad somehow, which I don't know how. But anyway, so pretty much what I'm doing right now is now they're just like, okay, what do we do? Because see this half track, it would have set itself down, but it can't because it's not connected. So that's something. If they're rushing forward, sneak around their lines and cut around them. That's something you want to do, and that will instantly help you out. Because now he can't set things down, or at least temporarily. They'll be able to put that up shortly. Like now they're good to go. But they can't do that immediately, which makes it pretty much like, oh no, retreat. And also, they've now put it down on this point, so I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't think it'll set down, unless it's pure red. I mean, please show me off and be wrong, but still. I put an MG in this building, pretty much counteract a lot of, like, the rack and warfare in this. Unfortunately, I'm taking a lot of weapon hits from this support gun. But luckily, I have my pretty much my troops here. Threw a grenade, blew up that canister. Luckily, Redman's moving up, flanking the Grenadiers, and I'm just going to grab this thing and run because I want to keep my anti-tank ability. Unfortunately, a Panzer IV showed up, so that's not good. Luckily, I have an AT, which will start firing, but as you can see here, he ran that way, so I can't really do all that much. Luckily, the Riflemen had anti-tank grenades, but unfortunately, they didn't choose to use it because of, well, they couldn't. Luckily, this thing is now like doop-de-doo. Oh, it's a Stuart. I'm gonna kill the Stuart. Well, hey, jackass, you forgot about the 2 anti-tank guns behind you, or behind the Stuart. So yeah, don't get me wrong, you're probably gonna kill the Stuart just fine. AT, not so much, and it loses. And to be fair, even though we lost D-man this and we lost the Stuart, if a Wehrmacht player loses a Panzer IV, that's a big loss on them, especially that quickly. And Redman sending in also many forces, along with my T-34, to literally flank. Again, if they attack, flank. Something very good, because now they have to retreat, run all the way back. Yes, they're decommissioning all this stuff for fuel, which is not very good. But hey, look how many they just lost a ton of forces, and look, that guy's so close to dying. And Redman killed him, and now he can pick up his MG42 right there. There we go. So yeah, good job, Redman. And I'm gonna push with Redman to help up this way while Ryan holds his force. Now, if we look here, I'm still putting mine. Not putting mines. I'm putting fuel points here because we definitely needed some. We have this point, but we definitely need all those points back. And yeah, they're already starting to put down on their side. I'm gonna send up some guards riflemen to cut their lines again. And I'm also sending the T-34 to the flank around and do some major damage. Because again, they don't have any truly major AT. Except for, they have this Volksgrenadier squad, which I didn't see till later. But if I can kill the Kuba wagon, well, that's very good for all Rifleman's force moving in, because that removes the MG problem. Unfortunately, that didn't work because my tank went crazy and almost crashed itself into this thing. But hey, you know, problems. I would say first world problems, but, you know, this is technically an era that term didn't exist yet, so just not going to go there. But anyway, as you can see, the Ober Commando guy has a lot of players up here. He's definitely trying to hold the mark. But unfortunately for him, once again, cutting off their lines. Try to use your rifle grenade, kind of missed. But he's trying to get that back. I'm saying my conscripts to, once again, decap this point, which would help us out if possible. He's retreating. At bare minimum, it would at least stop them from putting stuff down. Now, Redman's moving up. Definitely outflanking the support gun and everything, but unfortunately, the headquarters is taking him out and suppressing him, so we can't really do that much. Because again, this thing will own infantry, unfortunately, so it's very hard to push in when this thing's in place. But luckily, I decapped this, and okay, they just got back. So, but still, at least if you keep decapping their points, they don't get those points. So you know, rifleman coming up. I'm gonna decap that while I can. I wanted to retreat that, but it wouldn't retreat for some reason. Not sure. Again, well, another time where it's like I'm hitting the retreat button and it's not doing anything. And before you say my connection, I have a best connection to my friends. And also my graphics card is a GTX 760 quad-core processor, 3.5 gigahertz. And also 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte hard drive. So please, if that's low specs, well, maybe, you know, I'm sorry that that is not enough. Well, anyway, they attacked me with this huge group of infantry. One MG is not going to hold that, especially one freezing MG. So pretty much this thing is going to die. Unfortunately for them, I brought up my T-34 to pretty much give them a bad day. Because, yeah, they may decap this point, but they have no substantial heavy armor. So I'm just going to wreck house. Our mines are still up pretty much everywhere. They haven't tried to flank us, but we've been constantly flanking them. And as you can see, it's actually been working because we've held the middle and the island. So right now they're almost half points. So again, if the enemy is persistent, try to at least take the points and dig in on your side. That way they can keep spreading themselves thin and you can keep hitting their weak points. Like again, this. And Redman has been doing a fantastic job with his riflemen. He has a major here. He's trying to keep his units warm. He barricaded this sector so he doesn't get flanked. Pretty smart. And of course, Ryan has forces here. If we look here, Ryan has the shock mortar heavy tactics. Again, the ISU-152, which he forgot about. Thank you. Jaeger armor, great with elephant and strike bombs. Watch out for recon planes as well. Breakthrough doctrine, expect large barrages, and also expect the Jagdpanzer, the Jagdtiger, sorry. Yeah, which is probably the most powerful anti-tank gun in the game. The elephant's good, but this thing is definitely harder hitting. And then you have the German mechanized doctrine. You can build an artillery piece, but other than that, I don't see this being used that often. The only thing I see out of it is the mechanized grenadier squad, and then people upgrading it with Panzerschrecks and just having it like a mobile anti-tank unit. So that's, I guess, interesting, but that's the farthest I've seen. The smoke bombs are okay. If you have to put smoke bombs somewhere, I mean to guard something, well, yeah. A command tank's not exactly the best unit. Command Panzer, on the other hand, now that's pretty good. And the reason I say that is a Panther will at least hold the line. If you just have a command tank, it's not exactly going to be... the gun on it is not very good. Sherman can easily kill it. So anyway, we're kind of using the field guns again to pretty much... They're camping in buildings, so we're going to destroy them. We're just destroying all the buildings. We're just tired of these buildings being used against us, so we're just burning them all down. So of course Ryan is constantly doing his artillery fire and bring it down middle, not middle, the island, holding that. So that there's that. They also put an MG here to stop us from moving in. And to be fair, this thing has such a width and it's behind this heavy cover that I can't do much. I seriously can't do all that much. I do have my Guards Rifleman, which is excellent, because now they can't really charge. I do have this Panther right here, which is like, oh no, that's bad. Because again, Panther beats T-34, as seen here. Oh, except when it goes through the ice. So, yeah. Be warned, the ice thing will kind of differentiate any differences between T-34, like medium armor versus heavy armor. Even though it's technically a medium tank, it's really like a heavy medium tank or like a advanced medium tank. It will just go through the ice. So be warned about that. Then I moved up my infantry, but again they have this MG, which is going to pin my guys, and rendering any more flanking pretty much useless, because they're blocking these areas up pretty well. I also have this half-track, just in case, and with a flamethrower. Great. Now, of course, Redman's doing another offensive. Even this guy's been using a support gun to pretty much fire. Like I said, look, when he fires, it's been having some issues. But, again, he's trying to hammer this point, destroy the forward LZ that he has. And, by the way, the American anti-tank gun, probably the most underused and underappreciated weapon, like anti-tank gun in the game. This thing will own. Like, I've seen it kill 2 of them, just Jagdpanzers. No, I'm sorry, Jagdpanzers, Jagdtigers. Like, use it effectively and it will definitely help you out. So anyway, Redman's pushing north because he wants to retake the point, which he did. So now we have all 3 command points. And now this Sherman is pretty much trying to own and take out all of these Volksgrenadiers. Which again, Volksgrenadiers don't have really the best armor. So, and that thing just barely escapes. But again, a majority of their forces are just infantry. Oh wow, that's funny. Nice use of cover, literally. I'm also moving up my T-34 to help flank. Shock troops are moving in one way. He's like, oh, I'm going to take it with my Kerbal Wagon. Yeah, guess what? Kerbal Wagon's going to do squat against the T-34. To be fair, this thing I hate because this thing, for whatever reason, is powerful enough. Okay, maybe I haven't commissioned one, but it's like, its gun is enough to kill medium tanks, which really sucks. Don't get me wrong, they had AT in these areas, but it definitely did a lot more damage. Now, of course, I tried to throw a grenade on this, but unfortunately, having trouble. I think I threw a grenade in the building because I wanted to kill that, but fortunately, I'm going to retreat that. the missile shot here that like pinned his forces saved my life, and look, he just lost 2 squads. Thank you, Katushka Fire. Thank you, Katushka Fire. I think that is... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that was GTA. Now of course, excuse me. My T-34 is up here. I don't want to move up too much with it because I know they still have a lot of AT, and they're recollecting it. So again, now this guy I think has 2, or at least has a good bit. So I don't want to move up too much. So is that just a recon plane? Yeah, it's a recon plane above us. Which I can't see. Is it coming around, or... There we go. No, that's ours. That's weird. Usually you can see the recon plane flying overhead, but I guess not in this case. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. So anyway, I did the breakthrough attack here, thinking they would do some major damage. Don't get me wrong, it does hurt my T-34 a bit, but again, that was 1 hit, and they didn't really... Okay, it's down the half health, I'll give them that. But overall, it's like, okay, they're still not doing... we're still here, we're still holding, and we still at least are winning points-wise. So what am I doing now? First off, I am making an artillery piece because I'm tired of their bunkers and I want them destroyed. And I'm sorry, their half-track emplacements. So I figured a nice little howitzer would do some justice, because I've noticed I don't want to get Su-85s because Rhine has long range. My goal is to do strikes. So if I do the artillery and also these bombings and able to pretty much punch them out of areas, that's great. Secondly, they now have a Jagdtiger, sorry, excuse me. And if you want to know the difference between a Jagdtiger is specifically made to kill, and I do mean kill, tanks and not infantry. Don't get me wrong, this thing will, if it has a destroyed engine, will definitely be the slowest thing on the block. But hey, my bombing run plus the Katushka fire was enough to push this thing back and also render it unable to continue firing on Redman's base for some time. Now, Redman thought it would be a good idea to charge. I told him not to because I know it's damaged. You don't want to deal with... Again, we can't get in there because of the AT fire. So trying to flank in there is probably not the best thing. Also, I have a freaking Panzer IV over here that's been annoying me. And I'm able to, unfortunately, try to maneuver, but I just stopped. So this Sherman's definitely doing some damage. But again, it's this Pack 40 that's really just holding us back. And this is just a choke point. Like, this is utterly a choke point. Like, it is like, it's so bad in which, like, an MG and just AT will just own everything in this area. I think they are using an MG 40. Yeah, they're using a Maximum that probably was borrowed. We did some grenades, did some damage, and I tried to sneak back here again. I used some tactics, but unfortunately it did not work. So I'm keeping my MG here, and I'm also keeping some of my AT in case they do send some troops. Now we still have the anti-tank mines everywhere. They haven't tried to flank us, thank God. But just in case, we still have that. I should have probably put some here because I know they probably put some here because they don't really have anything there. But again, they're just focusing so heavily on our front lines that I can't really risk it. I also have a T-34 moving in to help. He's moving up his Sherman, but to help with this, I think it's the Sherman. No, it's an easy 8. I do apologize, Red Man. But to take out that Flak Panzer, but as you can see here, they just have so much AT. It's ridiculous. There we go. And it's killed by the AT. Just barely. But I have to retreat this. Katushka fire is going to come in. And again, don't like say, oh, you're spamming artillery. Well, they've been spamming artillery, mortar, stuff like that. And again, Katushka fire or Panzerwerfer fire is excellent for killing blobs. Truly, it is. If you have a big blob of units and you can time it right, you can take out the force. And the howitzer is designed to not do that, but to hurt this. Why? Because these can't move, and we need something really, really far to hurt that. So right now I have that in position to currently start firing on that. Now, unfortunately they have a lot of stuff up here, and they did attack me again. So purple's just like, I'm done. I'm moving up. And I might have been able to hold that back. But of course, then they bring up a Panther. And, oh, and yeah, then they abandon this. So I'm like, oh no, they're going to charge me. Let me put up a mine here just in case to send a tank. And then I'll put a T-34 blocking just in case, because I don't want to lose that just yet. I also recapped this point. We are now 476, and they have 94 points left. But again, the Wehrmacht and Oberkommando West players don't excel early game. I mean, they do with the Stern Pioneers, but that's short-lived. They don't excel. They can. It's about even middle game, but it's okay. I just got a ton of kills, by the way, with that. Because, look, it's just bombing all his forces. And he's like, I'm going to be healed. And, yeah, it's just not doing all that much. So, I figured he would retreat because I saw a big blob of purple run back, so I would take it out. But anyway, back to my original point. Wehrmacht players and Oberkommando players excel late game because their armor is the best late game. Also, they did the breakthrough doctrine attack here. I think it actually hurt his own tank. I believe it actually hurt his own tank because the Sherman didn't fire. It's these bombs firing, and it's literally causing all sorts of damage. I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe that was, but again, the Easy 8 probably would have, you know, survived-ish. I'm sorry, yeah, their Panzer probably would have survived if it wasn't for that. Oh, and then, of course, don't flank us. Anyway, he probably saw that and was like, oh no, there's no way I'm going to try to move up. I guess he was thinking he wanted to heal these forces. Well, it's not going to work out for you. They are using their own artillery, which is right here, to bomb our own forces. Do I ever bomb this or take it out? No. Why? Because, unfortunately, I was always busy with something else, so I never had the chance to take this out. So they're going to continue artillery fire, and this thing is similar to the howitzer. It's not as destructive, but has a good range of fire. Oh, and then, of course, the plane crashed right here, which is unintentionally the best thing it possibly could have done. Why, you ask? Well, first off, they can now not get to this island, this part, so they can't bust up that barbed wire. They can only come through this section, and they can't come through. And also, if you've noticed, they can probably send some infantry units and tanks this way, but the main route is here, so they're not going to get through this island, and they'll have to go all the way around to come up this way if they wanted to. And pretty much they're now focused on this section mainly. And then Ryan kept saying, why don't you attack? They have a T-34 and a Panther. I would need at least 3 T-34s to hammer it. Don't be wrong, I have artillery fire currently firing at will and possibly doing some damage, but I would definitely need a lot of forces. Anyway, Red Man is moving up and hugging this wall. Oh, I should probably mention, coming from the Ryan who also forgot he had ISU-152, I also want a half-track to help him. But pretty much, as you can see here, I love this thing trying to fire through a building and not working. But he's healing his tanks and everything right now, trying to move up, trying to push up, using this heavy cover to his advantage. Because again, it's making this Yag Tiger's job more difficult because this is elevated, meaning the shots when they fire will hit the building or hit somewhere else. I think this is an... Yeah, I don't know what this was. I think this was just like an allied... No, a recon plane. But was that Mike? Yeah, Mike did the recon plane. Let's see what they have. They have quite a good good range of forces. More bombs, but unfortunately that didn't do as much. Lacoon, yeah, he has the Yag Tiger. He's pretty much getting up there. He has a ton of forces. He has a half-track too, and also a Sturm Pioneer. So, or a Sturm Tiger being developed. But he doesn't have this, so we can't bring up a Stuka. Thank God. If they would have brought up Stukas, we would have been in trouble. Also, you can see the Panthers, a T-34, which is mine, that he stole from me, and of course, just like going back to mine. Now, as you can see here, we're trying to do a flanking. We're trying, Redman's trying to do a desperate attempt to take out the Yag Tiger, because again, you take out that heavy armor, you cripple their forces. And again, this half-track firing, not doing all this much, but to a T-34, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to do a lot. I don't know if that's a glitch or something like that. I just find it stupid that the front armor of a T-34 is not strong enough to take this. But this thing is like, mostly okay against it. So now Redman's just like, one more shot! And takes it out. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you, Redman. You just saved us. Because now, if you're wondering why, I have T-34s pretty much stationed. They were running in. I originally going to send it in to pretty much attack this point, but I'm like, can't really do that. And by the way, yeah, I bust up the barbed wire. There's no real point anymore for me having it. There's no real caution. They're not really going to flank us. And if they do, it's still mined up. So, you know, lead them. Anyway, so T-34 and armor push with the Su-85 charging. We're trying to take out the anything we can. They do still have this pack here, which is really annoying. But we're trying to push up and do some damage. Because again, if we get them off the island and make them think they're losing, they're going to retreat. And as you can see, we kind of have them like in a pincer move, because they're stuck in the middle and Redman is here. But they did use a bomb to get rid of it, which definitely sucks. And then of course you have my troops over here. Oh my god, nice hit, Ryan. But the Su-85, I'm sorry, the ISU-152, deadly, absolutely deadly against troops long range. But as you can see here, they have Sturm Tiger moving in. That thing is determined. Okay, I want to note something here. It is not my fault what's about to occur. It is not my fault, because I asked him to move troops on a bridge earlier. He's like, okay, did it. He never asked me to move this thing. So he's backing up. It somehow gets stuck in here, and he's like, he never told me. He never told me. And of course he's backing it up and showing the rear armor. That's smart. And then and then it fires, takes him out. I want to note, he never told me, and I was busy with something else going on, like moving troops. So I was busy like getting artillery fire positioned and other things. And he's just like, why didn't you move your forces? I'm like, what are you Oh, sorry. So just on a note, make sure you communicate. That really helps. And then Katushka fire takes out a lot of the forces that just killed his forces. Kill his ISU-152. So yeah, he's getting payback. I have my artillery getting placed. My idea was to start firing on this thing, but I never was able to. Yeah, so I guess that's a little perk of a command tank for reduced damage, but again, But as you can see here, they have a bunker, MG, and a T-34. I have a T-34, but as you can see here, it's kind of just holding out. He has another ISU-152, and I'm currently just having my T-34, so it's just like coverage, just trying to get some sight radius and try to help him out, take some of the blows. That way we recap the middle. Because we lost the island, Redman can probably hold that point for a little longer, but not really hold this main point with all their forces still there. And, yeah. If I can just take this out, we'll be okay. Smoke, also, which I can see why in this case. It's like, okay, block his sight lines, but I mean, it's not really working because my conscripts can still see the forces. And I also borrowed the AT. I'm using it to re-establish all that AT to pretty much push them back. I probably would have said he started firing upon that building, but again, if you're wondering why he didn't do that, it's very hard to get that lined up in this like line shot. And also, he was worried about these AT forces constantly coming through. So he wanted to start pulverizing the middle area. But But as you can see here, they're losing a AT, all sorts of things. So that SU-152 has only one kill, really? You're disappointing me. It looks awesome, but you're not doing all that much, Ryan. Anyway, I'm going to move my conscripts back. Going to put a nice little warm thing over here. I'm using artillery, if you're wondering where. Okay, I have no idea how that was destroyed. But pretty much I was doing over here because I'm like, okay, they're going to heal their forces in the winter, and in the cold, I'm going to keep blowing up this building. Luckily, the Katushka fire from Ryan's Katushkas, if I'm saying that wrong, sorry, is definitely doing a lot of damage, and it's helping take out that main point, so that way if you can't take this out, no heavy armor, which is great. So I'm right now prepping for our strike on the island, because again, we're holding pretty well, but if we can take out the island, that would be even better. We still have AT and stuff. I have my half strike here. What's this? What's this mean? The engine has been just damaged, restricting tops. Okay. So it can't go, it can move, but it can't just go top speed. This is the command tank that they brought out, thinking it could take on the EZ-8. It has a short barrel gun. Long range, this thing doesn't do that very much. As you can see, not the best accuracy. He should really fall this thing back. The command tank is like, I'm gonna help! And then you have all these forces with AT grenades, and of course, I still have a ton of AT, which I can move up this way in case there was something wrong. And of course, he's moving back his ISU-152 to be like, okay, I'm going to help with that large blob infantry, while my AT guns guard the middle with some extra forces. I now have a quad mal on this thing, which will definitely help in case they do attack. Ryan should probably have moved this thing up on the hill, because again, that we can see. But again, he's mainly focusing on that Panzer, so he doesn't really have to move that far. And that thing is so close to dying. Ever so close. Come on. One more shot. Oh, the blizzard came in, so we can't see it. One thing, though. AT. So, there's that. We also have the Sturm Tiger, which is still there. Really annoying. Also, okay, they're trying to repair this thing. That's what they're doing. But look at that cover. Redman is just using that heavy cover that can't be destroyed to his advantage, and pretty much out-sniping all his forces. Sure, he's a level 5 guy, but compared to four heavily starred 2 to 3 starred riflemen constantly firing upon his forces, yeah, it's not going to do all that much. And more Katushka fire. What will do that much is a Stern Pioneer shot, but luckily he was able to retreat his forces in time. Now, as you can see here, they're moving up an elephant. Mike, yeah, so Mike is, the red guy is just like, I'm done, I'm moving up stuff. I'm moving up a T-34 to help out, clear some of this infantry, and also try, again! I hate this thing. It does so much, and it's ridiculous. Also, yeah, just random shot. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Now, so I move up my AT to help deal with this thing as a Panther. Luckily, the thing is stupid enough to follow Redman back, so Ryan's just like, okay, hello, Panther, meet EZ-8, and then let me turn my gun so I can fire at you. So I don't know what Ryan was charging it for. He should ever fall back. Again, sometimes you tell, again, a lot of things in this game, you tell it to do something and it does the opposite. You're like, God dang it, why didn't you listen to me? So I have my AT forces. I'm moving that up the hill. It's moving very slowly because I had the cover ambush tactics, but it's still. Here's another ISU-152 coming up. But this thing is just like destroying infantry. Look at that, excellent, and that thing's about to die. I'm bringing up my quad to help it kill infantry, and now he did the attack here. That's why he's retreating all of his forces. Which, if you're wondering how exactly that's going to help him, it's not. It truly isn't. Because all that did was create more room so the ISU-152s can now fire long range. Oh, and now the building's destroyed. Great. I also use artillery to start hitting this position, because that's where I saw the elephant. But the quad is going to definitely do quite a bit of damage, because again, it shreds infantry. And they're sending in all their guys like, yeah, charge, we got this. That guy even stole my DP. And guess what? Now, yeah, I don't think those riflemen are going to let him live. Nope. So that's something he just lost. And then my quad is now firing upon this. I doubt it's going to do very much, but hey, it's at least, you know, holding back the infantry. Now, he should probably fall back with that, because again, they do have an elephant, which is over here. And elephants, again, are like the ISU-152, except they excel at infantry, not Not infantry. Vehicles, not infantry. So again, if it sees you, you want to run. So now we're pushing up a lot of armor. We're losing right now. We have to try to capture something. They have a Panther being charged here again. But luckily, unfortunately, it got decrewed. So Redman was like, I'm gonna cap it, and yeah, it didn't do very well. Luckily, he got in before the Volksgrenadiers could, and he's just like, I'm out, peace. So unfortunately, I don't have that much, or I can't really do that much to the Elephant. I do have an AT gun, which I'm moving across to help up. But again, I can't really engage it because even though it's so slow, I don't have any heavy tanks to come around. And they still have, well, they don't have, actually no, they don't have anything over here. But my T-34 is already back at base, so it's going to take a while to move up. And Ryan also started saying, hey, why don't you move up? I didn't want to fight this just yet because I didn't really have an AT gun over there yet. I just put this here, but I was going to wait until a little more to then start pushing on the island. But I probably should have done what he said and pushed up earlier. So that is not, Ryan, you do get that. I should have pushed up a little earlier. Now, of course, the IS-152s, they're being taken out by these Panthers. I have my AT gun, which is doing like a bunch of weird moves. I have my AT gun currently firing upon it. He lost both IS-152s in that attack. The Panthers and everything definitely did a lot. So I'm moving up my T-34. I'm like, I'm done with you, Elephant. I'm going to kill you. Because again, an Elephant, it is a multi-shot, takes a long time to reload, and of course, very importantly, is even though it's a tank destroyer, it's still succumbed to it has good armor, but again, it's long-range combat, not really close range. So if I could sneak behind it, that's great. But he did the smart thing and just kept like flanking and didn't really move it. So I just initiated bombing strike on this area, so that way I can constantly keep hitting it. Luckily, Redman's coming in from behind and taking a lot of these infantry guys out. But I'm currently causing a lot of artillery fire here, so he thinks, oh, I'm going to heal my guys. Yeah, that's not going to do exactly all that much. And even though the Elephant has good sight radius and can fire long range... Ooh, he lost that thing. He's definitely, you know, losing quite a lot of forces. Come on, fire! Oh, it bounced. That sucks. Anyway... Gonna move up my AT to help Redman out. Gonna capture that point. Redman's also now moving up, clearing out his forces because he have this MG here, which is pinning his forces. Just come around here, take it out. He'll also probably move up his Sherman to deal with that. He's again doing a very smart thing. He's just instantly repairing and then moving up with his EZ8s. I'm moving up another T-34. They are just refocusing at this sector. That's pretty much all they have. They have a lot of troops here, but again, my quad is going to do a lot of damage, and my conscripts are going to stay there and help hold in the back. Yes, they're 3-starred each, but dealing with a quad is not something they can easily handle. And of course, being burned alive doesn't help. Oh wait, a plane crashing on your forces, that helps. I wondered how it died. Because all I noticed is like, your unit is lost. I'm like, how? I had a quad like tearing apart his grenadiers. How did it die? Oh, a plane crash. Thank you. That was my recon plane too, so you know, that sucks. Oh, and then of course, Katyushka firing the island, move up. So then I'm like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to circle it. And if you're wondering why I do this, because this thing turns very slowly, and if I can just keep getting rear armor hits and whatnot, it would have been better. It does do a nice shot though, and it does take me out. And they're going to rush in a ton of Panzer Grenadiers up, and another Panzer IV to make sure they have the island under their control. So I'm like, yeah, I can't take it. And their Elephant's back up. Even better. So anyway, Redman is pushing up. He's trying to take out as many forces as he possibly can. And again, if we can just capture this point, they're at 53. We just need to push them down a little more. But again, they're just getting better units. And a lot of Panzer Grenadiers too. Also, the Yag Tiger kind of helps. But luckily, a nice little bombing strike will help them out. Right? No, not really. It didn't really do that much. And I now have our heavy artillery barrage, which I can do. Also pinpoint accuracy, which is nice. But again, they have 2 tanks here, so I can't really move up here. Here, they have quite a lot of forces. I can't really do that much. Even with this, they kept moving, so I couldn't really do it. I still have AT here, which I'm trying to move up and help. Yeah, and I have another T-34 moving in. Again, I would bring out something else, but again, they're focusing so much infantry And not many that vehicles. They have a few vehicles, but having an Su-85 and then having a Panzer Grenadier squad sneak up by a double Panzer truck and take it out is something I don't need. So I tried to see what they have with conscript squad moving up, but unfortunately they're just taking it out, so that's not helping. And then of course they do here. I'm like, okay, maybe I can start using artillery on this. Yeah, that's not working out so well. Which I don't know what exactly it's doing. It just died. They weren't really shooting it or anything. Luckily, Ryan is firing double Katyushka fire. They do have this elephant, which is right here, which will took out my half track, which really sucked. And then I'm just trying to fight and take this area out. So now they have all 3 points. Again, they're down to 53. All we need to do is capture 2 points. 2 points. But luckily, we are getting a ton of munitions, which is going to help us out. I'm also doing, again, more artillery strikes if we can see where on this position, because I know if I can hit their Yag Tiger, which I think I did a couple shots, because you can see the explosions. And I can at least do some damage, keep it back and repaired. At least enough for the Su-85 to move in, ISU-152, sorry, and do some heavy damage. Now, of course, the elephant's here. It is starred, but the good thing is, again, it's focus sight, but it's focus sight somewhere else. It's focus sight down this way, and it's very specific. So here, let me pull up Mike. So if I show Fog of War, it's focus sight like here, and then of course it has to shoot through buildings. So yeah, don't get me wrong, you can see the Katyushka fire, but it's not turned in that position. It could probably take out the Katyushkas if it wanted to, but it's not turned in that position. Oh yeah, and then all that Katyushka fire is definitely not helping the Yag Tiger or the ton of infantry right here. So if we look at resources too, who is this? Yeah, I have a ton of fuel. Because I'm just like, I'm trying to bring out vehicles, but it's just not helping. I should have probably grouped them up like Redman was doing, but I just kept trying to do some attacks around. That was my artillery. Excuse me. Oh, good hit. So yeah, it's definitely like, oh no, fall back. Then I'm like, alright, send the T-34 up. And this is where the T-34 shines against the enemy. Because people are like, oh, you know, how is that going to work? Well, if it wasn't for the Yag Tiger, it would have been great, because it would have literally went by the elephant and taken it out. But as you can see here, that didn't exactly work out, because of the simple fact that the Yag Tiger turned around. But that led the opportunity for Redman to move up with all of his forces and start doing massive amounts of damage to everything else. Now, of course, he has his elephant here and a panther, and of course, they're backing up all their forces, and pretty much, here's the thing that Redman forgot. He put all of his forces into a line. Okay, let me unexplain this. And all they have to do is keep firing upon that line to take him out. I'm capturing this point, by the way. There's tons of Katyushka fire going out. We have AT fire currently trying to hit this thing. He's using a lot of forces to just get main explosions and whatnot. We're still, again, this thing is still technically in range. One shot would have taken this thing out. But he lost all 3 of his tanks in that charge. Don't get me wrong, he did a lot of damage, but it wasn't worth it. It was not worth it, because again, the Yag Tiger's still alive, and everything else is still alive. So now I have my AT gun here. I'm just like, oh no. This is not going to be good. Because now they're rushing in. They have Panthers here. They know we're like pretty much done for. Wait for it. Wait for it. Mines. Don't you love them? Anyway. Back to the battlefield. We're trying to hold them back again. Luckily enough, AT and stuff like that. I still have my... Well, I did have an AT gun there. But we're trying to hold them back. Luckily, we did kill that thing. So yeah, we're just having a lot of difficulties. Redman lost... Redman did a final assault by himself on a bunch of heavy tanks in a narrow passage. You don't do that. Surround your enemy. Don't come from one direction, because then they can just focus fire on that one direction. Hit them from multiple directions. That way, it's harder. I brought up a half-track to help out forces, because Ryan and Redman needed another base to heal. At least some troops in this area, like right here. So I moved up that. I have my engineer here, because I'm like, oh, why not? Like, I'll wait for my half-track to come up. I have my artillery. I'm trying to focus fire, like, okay, where can I fire upon? So then I decided, okay, if I can at least try to fire and hit this general area where they were all coming from, maybe I can do some damage. Is this thing getting any kills? I'm curious. Alright, just 11 kills. And it was it firing upon? It is firing upon the middle? Or... yeah, it's not even close to that range. So most likely it's firing in this general area. Oh wait, no. It's firing over here, probably to stop any incoming units. But it's kind of missing. So then I'm like, okay, move up MG, move up AT, have to really push up now. They're trying to, I think, mine, which is perfect timing because this thing is just like going to die. And as you can see, explosions, mines, and also, wait, yeah, explosions and mines pretty much killed those shock troops. But luckily I have an AT unit. So yeah, that's going to do some damage. I'm also going to try to heal this thing. And they also bring up their elephant, which is long range, along with the Yag Tiger. If the Yag Tiger has range on you, get out. This thing has probably the longest range of any gun in the game. It is insane. It's probably close to an elephant. Our goal is just like, okay, keep bombing, keep them off the island. And use shock troops to take it. Luckily, we were able to take it out. And I'm currently using artillery, in case you're wondering, to pretty much own, and it did. It killed the entire Panzer Grenadier squad. And keep paying these guys, that way they have a harder time capturing that point. But as you can see, Redman's here. I'm trying to capture this area. Have AT. They'll start firing upon that Panzer IV command tank. And then I also have a T-34 coming up to help hold the island. Again, they're at 33 points. All we need to do is bring them down just a minute. Just like have that open for a little while and we'll be good. Now I did something stupid here. I saw these guys. I'm like, okay, we can't really hold against all that. And yeah, Ryan did a good thing. He tried to grab the MG42 and run away with it. Should have probably moved the half track anywhere else but the middle, but hey. I'm also trying to move up here. I don't really have any AT guns. I probably should. I saw this. I'm like, alright, engineer squad, you're going up there. But as you can see here, I can't really do that much to it. So, I try to call this a nice little bombing run. It did a little bit. I'll probably kill it. But again, I'm about to lose this 3-star guy, so that sucks. And I'm just like, I'm losing everything. Some of them using artillery. Once again, I think I'm hanging here. Yeah, I'm hanging here. I was really hoping, like, okay, let the thing come on the ice. Well, I forgot the mine blew up, so it would have been absolutely useless. So we have this Lil Stewart Redman sent out, and then my T-34. By the way, now look, 10 points. We are going to win this, right? Right? We're going to win this. We have a T-gun that'll turn shortly. I have T-34s moving up. All my infantry is pretty much killed at this point. Like, we have nothing left. And I'm just like, okay, just move up, kill this thing, it'll be great. I'm turning it now. Redman is holding this off. We're just like trying to hold him off. Seven points. We're at 7 points, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, I'm giving the elephant a royal treatment by shooting it in the behind. Oh, but yeah, the Jagdpanzer's coming up, so that's helpful. Is that? Oh, and look, a Stuka. I think that's the first one of the game, at least I've seen. So that's reassuring. So right now I'm just like, capture with your shock troops. And then we're here just like, just capture it. That's all you need to do. And up here, I think he did, yeah, there's no way Redman can really take that. So we're just like, alright, just take it. That's all you need to do. The Stewart's barely alive, but hey, just take the point. The Jagdpanzer, unfortunately, does not want that, and is going to change his mind very quickly. I now have no tanks. I still have an artillery piece, which is currently can fire. We have 7 seconds. At this point, we're just like, yeah, there's no way. Because we're taking this point by a hair. Stuka bomb just came in. Almost killed my AT. Didn't kill it, though, which is reassuring. And I like how he's just healing in. This thing's like, duh, what do I shoot at? Actually, that's a good point. Let me see. No, it's not Q. It was Lacone. Yeah, he can fire long range, but he can't really see that far. Again, it's like a Jackson. Jackson's good snipers, but you need other units to snipe it for you. So now I'm just like, okay, there's no way we can really take it, so grab the MG. Grab the MG. Grab the MG. All we need to do is take this point. We're right now good. Grab the MG. It's open. Fire at will. Oh, wait. Panther. Damn it. And, oh, by the way, forgot AT grenades. Don't forget AT grenades. It would have really helped me out quite a few times. So right now I'm just telling artillery fire to start hitting and then to hit this icy area. Why? Because it killed the squad and it'll stop the ice from stop them coming in this direction, which is exactly what I need. We have bombs coming in. They just took the Sherman, an easy 8. That's not helping us. I have an AT gun currently firing upon it, but I mean, well, it was firing upon it until I used the artillery and trying to kill it. But thanks, Red Man. Thank you. So yeah, now it's just like, how are we going to win? Because now they have both points under their control. And look, I grabbed up the Panzerschreck, but I'm like, there's no way this thing's gonna hold. And oh yeah, now their artillery's firing upon me. Oh wow, I did not know that. That's an interesting ability. So I'm moving my T-34 in. Gonna try to hold, try to help. All we have to do is hold this point. It doesn't matter. This thing can't capture, right? I can't save it. Oh, another elephant coming in. Great. So we're telling Ryan, it's like, Ryan, just snipe them and tell Redman to send a pair of infantry units up. That's all we need you to do. So Redman's at this point like, fuck it, I'm sending everything. Unfortunately, he lost another truck. Thank you, Redman. The MG's pinning them. Unfortunately, I'm about to die. Yep. T-34 is up. Healing this. Now I'm turning it to the island like fire at will. Doing some damage, I'll give him that. But Ryan's moving in, we're just like, send one thing. Send the MG, send anything, capture that point. Ryan sent everything and just started capturing it. I'm like, T-34, save him. And I sent my T-34 to start hurting. We have nothing at this point. I have a T-34 hanging for the middle to try to help. But I mean, we have nothing. So right now, Ryan is sending his MG up north to try to help. Because again, we have this point. This point's okay. Redman has... Again, I'll show you Redman. There's Ryan. Wait for it. That thing, and guess what? D clocks it at 2. We are at 2 points. And Redman has one rifleman squad left back here, and he's like, we're done. We're done. And I'm just like, no, we're not. Not yet. So with an MG, he decaps it. If you're wondering how that happened, if there's 1 point open and 2 other points gone, that still counts. So with that, we are able to, because of his MG, which is barely alive, by the way, able to decap that and win the game. Yeah, that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. It was pretty... Oh my god, I thought they changed this. Oh my, I wish. We all did pretty good overall. This Lacoon guy got over 60,000 points, so he did the best. But anyway, this game I thought was really cool, really awesome. And yeah, it's definitely a game where it's like, oh, we're winning. Oh, we're gonna win. Oh, oh no. And it's just like, can we hold out? Oh wait, let's just get points and drain them dry. So this is an example of a game where it's like, you don't necessarily have to have the most units. Because again, Redman had 7. What was it? Let's look. 33, and of course GTA had the most with 52, and they all had like a huge sizable army. So we could not have held that if they concentrated force. But because we were just able enough to hold their infantry back and stop them with White Frost first and other things, their tank stuff can't capture. So we're just like, okay, we're just gonna hold these. And we did, and we won. Go figure. And thanks, Redman, for literally. Wait, this unit is coordinated fire with nearby Allied armor, increasing their radio net. Wait, what? Hold on. Is this a special for it? Because it's a star? Huh. No, it's not for them. That's Blizzard effect. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with that. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is a pretty awesome game, and I'll see you next time. Nice. Abandoned. Do we have an artillery piece? Oh no, yeah we do. Holy crap, that thing is awesome. I'm gonna grab the star. Dude, there's so many dead T-34s. It's like free fuel here, free fuel here.